Hello, all. Here's Mr. J with another thought. Are you in a companionship or relationship? Or do you know the difference between the two? The companionship and the relationship sometimes are so entwined that, yes, they do seem to be the same thing. And I think most people think that they are. But in reality, there's a lot of differences between a companionship and a relationship. For instance, a companionship usually has no romantic feelings involved and it's influenced by care, support, and fondness. Whereas in a relationship, that's influenced mostly by a physical attraction, intimacy, passion, those kind of things. A companionship requires a long term commitment because usually, if a person is a companion, then that lasts a little longer. Whereas long term relationships need commitment, while some short terms don't. But a companion, they may spend time pursuing the same hobbies. Maybe they like the same things, do some of the same things. But in a relationship, you don't have to have the same hobbies at all. Uh, Companionships, I think, last longer because relationships can end mutually or bitterly due to whatever differences there might be. Well, mostly companions don't end in marriage. They marry couples, though married couples, they can become companions after a long duration, but they usually don't end in marriage. Or partners in a relationship, they fall in love, they get married. Kind of the way things are. Most people resort to companionship to deal with loneliness. I mean, that's why your mom buy a dog in her later years. That's why a lot of people that live alone got cats and so forth. But people enter relationships for different reasons, mostly because they're in love or want to be loved. And in a companionship, you don't really have any goals or aims that you set with each other. But in a relationship, you set goals. You buy a house, you buy a car, you have kids, you decide to do things, and that's part of the relationship. You do set some kind of goals, whether they be long term or short term. I think less effort goes into maintaining a companionship, whereas there's a lot of effort that goes into maintaining a relationship. I mean, you got to put in work. A relationship ain't easy. You got to put in work to spice it up, to do whatever, to keep the interest going. You got to put in work. If you don't put in work, you're not gonna have a great relationship at all. And the other thing about a companionship, and I think this is the biggest thing, the companionship brings nothing but positive energy. And though a relationship can be full of positive energy, but there are so many negative energies that can slip in, like jealousy, uh, trust, and all kinds of crazy things that provide negative emotions. So there are those are different. I think a companionship can easily turn into a relationship, but I think a relationship has to be cultivated to become a companionship. So what I'm saying to you in so many words is that I think that people need to understand, especially nowadays, people need to understand what they're asking for, what they're looking for, what they think they're in. Because a lot of people out here saying they want a relationship, but what they really want is a companionship. And some of the people screaming companionship are seeking a relationship because they get it mixed up. And when you mix it up, it gets messed up. Because there are people that say, hey, I don't want a relationship, but I want a friend. Well, they're asking you for a companionship. But then down the line, they somehow switched and got them mixed up, and now they think they're in a relationship. And that's great as long as everybody on the same page. But more often than not, the person who thinks they're in a companionship at the beginning thinks that they're still in a companionship at the end. And the one who thought they wanted a companionship is now seeking a relationship. It may not be with this person. So tell me what you think and hit the subscribe button, the like button. But most of all, give me your comments. I want to know, what do you think the difference between a companionship and a relationship is, and whether or not you think you're in one or the other. Because what I've given you today is just one man's opinion. Let me know yours.